Very good day to everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. If this is your first time uh, coming to the Neuro-Wellness Collaborative, just come on in because you are very, very welcome. We are the Neuro-Wellness Collaborative with Dr. Kitty Adderley, with Dr. Wael Salam, and I am Dr. Ayana Miller, your Doctor of Disease and Disability Prevention, Dr. DP. Well, we are an international group of doctors of physical therapy, and in this forum, we try our very best to engage with you on different topics related to wellness, prevention, and function related matters that will support your functional mobility. You know, as I always say, we are not here for a what? Long time, but we are here for a good time. So, with that being said, let's just get right to it. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, nieces and nephews, sirs and madams, we are here today to talk about a very, very important topic, which is essential rest. And I have to say, it's going to be critical for us to understand that the basic pillars of health are rest, nutrition, and exercise. Rest is not a luxury. Okay, we have to understand it is absolutely a biological necessity. It is critical for life function. Let me just give you an example of what I'm talking about, how critical rest is and how magical our bodies are. And I know that our fabulous doctors of physical therapy will shed light on this topic as we talk today. But, you know, I'm a road cyclist, semi-retired, and we're preparing for a ride for Mother's Day. So I was on a training ride yesterday, and my bike is a little faulty. I've got some repair needs, and as I was riding, I noticed I started getting a lot of numbness in one of my feet and a lot of pain into one of my elbows, some numbness in my hands, and so on and so forth. I was having nerve and musculoskeletal symptoms, and so I started mentioning this to my coach, and he said, well, get some rest. You know, you neglected your nutrition, two pillars of health that affected my third, which was my exercise. But when I got some rest this morning, I got up, elbow pain gone, foot pain gone, you know, and I was even driving after my training ride, and I was getting sharp pain, shooting pains into my foot. So the rest portion, which is the point I'm making, is really, really important. It really made the difference and allowed me to wake up without pain because my body had a chance to repair and recover during the night. As a matter of fact, you know, during the night is when our bodies really, really get to work. You know, as I said, rest is not a luxury, it is a necessity. When your conscious state is awake and you're doing all of your daily tasks, you're conscious of what you're doing. But then when your conscious state is asleep, your body gets to work doing all of the repair tasks that it needs to do while you're not busy. So, you know, the sun comes up in the morning and our bodies are so attached to the earth. The sun's just mere presence in the sky alerts the community of structures in your brain that, hey, it's time to start getting busy. It's time to start getting to work. So your brain then signals to your body that, hey, look, let's get this day going. And this is early morning, but what has happened is your glands in the brain, they start preparing themselves in the morning to start really, really activating at night. And it takes many hours for this. So between 8 p.m. and 4 a.m., your body is really, really getting to work doing the business of repair, recovery, and it's using your body fat to burn energy so that it can continue to work while you are asleep. You are not just idle. Your body is burning fat. It's fueling processes. And if you're not asleep, that fuel is being used to do other things. For example, I'm talking right now. So it takes fuel for my body engine to allow me to talk, to move my hands, to blink my eyes, to look at you, and so on. So if I'm not asleep, that fuel, and I'm using my hands like a combustion engine. This is my representation of an engine. Doesn't this look like an engine, wheels of an engine turning? So this is my representation of fat fueling my body right now to talk and to engage with you. So because I'm not asleep, that energy is being used to push that process along. But when I am asleep, it allows my body to support recovery, repair, immune system or immunity, I should say, and so on and so forth. And so this is the undergirdment or the foundation of why sleep is not just a luxury, it is critical to your survival. I'll give you another example, and then I would love to hear from Dr. Kitty what her thoughts are. You know, we do things ladies first around here, and Dr. Wael is such a gentleman, he allows us to do that. But there's been some studies that have shown that post heart attack, people who get good sleep, particularly in the immediate weeks following heart attack, tend to recover better. Well, I know you're saying, no kidding, Sherlock. We already knew that. But the issue is the studies really showed that although we tend to recover and repair during sleep, after a person has had a heart attack, the process or the systems that kick in to allow recovery, such as a boost in immune support, a boost in immune cells, lowering of the heart rate, relaxation of the cardiovascular system. There's an uptick in these pathways that really truly allow healing and recovery. Your heart has a chance to relax and the stress is reduced. And again, this is just an example of why it's so important to know and understand that rest is not just luxury. Rest is critical for survival. Again, in the studies, it showed that not only did the group that had not been tested remain stable, and they did, as we know, show signs of healing and repair as we normally do during sleep. But that group that had had heart attacks, when they were allowed to rest and recover, the study showed that those individuals had even higher levels of immune activity, higher levels of rest and de-stressing, if I can use that word, in the heart. So really critical for us to know and understand that rest is not just for luxury. It is a vital component of survival and recovery. It is important for us to know when to sleep, how much sleep we need, how to actually unwind and get good sleep. Because again, as I used in the example of myself, if you're not getting good, restful, deep sleep, you are not then what? You're not burning those engines to fuel your immune system, to fuel recovery and repair, like the people who had those heart attacks. Dr. Kitty, what do you think? What is your opinion? What do you have to say about how important rest and recovery are for our community, the people that we serve and we hope the best for, and we want to see live and thrive and survive with wellness? We want to see them live longer and suffer less, as I always say.
So you put an excellent foundation down. You spoke about rest not being a luxury. You really emphasized how much it is a biological requirement for survival, for healing, for good metabolic health. And that's where I'll start there, metabolic balance, right? We see often the patients that come in and they're not resting.
Mhm.
And what we see is that the weight's there, it's not moving, right? They're not healing as fast as we want them to heal or they want to heal. Their recovery seems to be stagnant and slowed. And no matter how perfect their diet is, they can't seem to shake that weight off. And that's so important. Like you said, when your body is resting, that's when the body gets a chance to do what it needs to do. And it's not just about being tired, it's about being dysregulated. So you're not efficient. And this is why we don't lose the weight. not just efficient in terms of weight, but energy. The fat storage stays, and then our cellular repair decreases. The other thing we have to talk about too, when we talk about dysregulation, is that it dysregulates our blood glucose. So we have a pre-diabetic state when we sleep deprived. And so every night we lose sleep, we're throwing ourselves in pre-diabetic state. I wonder why diabetes is so painful
Hmm.
and sensitive to do because you didn't give it enough time to. And also, that same sleep deprivation increases sugar cravings,
Hmm.
energy crashes, increased
We're missing you, Dr. Kitty. I'm so sorry. We've got some choppiness in the.
and again, difficulty weight. I'm hopping on that right now because everybody's running to these quick and fast things. I want to re-emphasize the fact that we're very
Okay, there we go, Dr. Kitty. You're on mute right now. It seems like we're having a little trouble with the Wi-Fi.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
And sometimes this happens when you've got an international collaborative of fabulous doctors of physical therapy. No, we can't
Are
be
you
all
hearing? Are,
perfect. We are nearly perfect, but we're not 100% perfect. But Dr. Q, you made some excellent, excellent points. I could pick up some of what you were saying about how sleep deprivation disallows us from regulating glucose and how it tends to throw us
are
toward
you hearing me now?
sort of, you're frozen. Now, okay.
Yeah. Yes. Are
Okay.
you hearing me?
Yes, I hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Well, we hear you, but it sounds like you're in a fish tank with water. So it sounds like you're talking in a
Great.
tank.
All right. So we talked about sugar, the glucose dysregulation, and let's also talk about hormonal imbalance. Go on that.
We lost you, Dr.
Let's go to Dr. Weil.
Okay, well, let me just say, I know if we can get Dr. Kitty back, I really wanted to hear more about what she was saying, what you were saying, Dr. Kitty, concerning hormonal imbalances, because hormones, again, another critical element of what happens, the ebb and flow of hormones while we're asleep, the hormonal activity coming from the brain, how it affects all of the body systems. And I know she won't go through all the body systems, but just touching on how critical it is to have hormonal regulation, have the hormonal system fueled by lipolysis or fat burning that occurs during sleep. She really, really kind of got into a really important topic. One of the main issues that people of color grapple and deal with are not only cardiovascular but diabetic issues. And so Dr. Kitty started informing us of how important it is to have glucose regulated by having good sleep. Sleep is essential to not going into a pre-diabetic and diabetic phase. Good sleep is essential to not developing obesity. When you get good sleep, Dr. Kitty did mention that when you get good sleep, you are less likely to reach for, how do I say it, non-nutritious food options. You're less likely to be up at night snacking on things that don't promote health. You are more likely to, when you get good sleep, you're more likely to burn the energy that you need to fuel the systems that keep you alive. So I'm so sorry that, the technology sometimes is not 100%, but this, again, this is what happens sometimes when you're international. You do have some blips in the radar. If we can circle back to Dr. Kitty, if she could highlight again the important points that she was making, it would be really wonderful. Meanwhile, let's hear from Dr. Wael. Dr. Wael, what are your thoughts on this topic and how important it is to get good rest, to get sleep as one of the main pillars of health undergirding our physical function? Good to see you, Dr. Wael, all the way from Cairo, the Middle East. Are you in Cairo today? We can't hear you. Okay, are you in Cairo today?
Yes, yeah, I'm in
Come
Giza. I'm
close. We
inside
can't hear
the
you.
pyramid.
We can't
What?
hear, we can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
I hear you better now.
Okay, I said that I am inside the pyramids. Yeah, about 2 kilometers from the pyramids, gross pyramids, or
You're over near
square pyramids.
Giza.
Yes, I'm in Giza. Yes, you come into Egypt and you
Okay.
know that. Yes.
Very good. Very good. My hometown.
Okay. Okay. I want to talk about that. We have a life cycle. We have a life cycle. This life cycle, any organs need the three components to work: the content, the structure, the function. The structure is a function of our body to build up the body or to renew our body. But we have to be consistent about contents, about our feeding and something like that, the materials used to build up the organs. And now we talk about the function. The function, we have two parts of the function. I have normal daily living activities. And also I have a time for sport. My daily living activity, it should be all the time. Yes, it is kind of using my energy, using my body all the time, but for a longer time, all the daytime. And also, I have to go to sport. In
Mhm,
sport, when I make any kind of exercise or any kind of sport, I go up to my maximum limit.
mhm, mhm,
So all of this, using my body and using my energy, and going to the fatigue point, we
mhm.
have to go to the another phase, most important phase, the rest phase. At night, we have to sleep. Sleep allow us to go up, to repair our body, to recover. So when we talk about the rest, this is very important time. You know that our third of our life we sleep our third of our life age. One third. So it's so important. So if we can talk about the rest, we will say that first sleep, and sleep it should be at the night. Everything it will be like a sleeping room. It
Mhm.
will be dark, no sound.
Yeah.
There is a lot of melatonin. Everything is prepared for sleep.
Mhm.
So this is the first time we have to care about all about the sleep. If you not sleep good, you will be aged 10 years. So that is big problem for sleeping.
Yeah.
Okay. And you have to have a nap. Now, if I have a sleep for 8 hours per day, and now daytime is 16 hours. At the middle of 16 hours, I have to take like half an hour or 15 minutes like a nap
Mhm,
to
mhm,
allow me.
mhm.
Then we have to make like a cat nap. Cat nap that happens during the day life when I am reading some book, when I'm doing physical or mental activity, I have to meditate for like a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes maximum to refuel myself again, to recover from. So, so important. So I am talking about the rest. So sleep at the night, midday nap, and also cat nap. Catnap is very important. This kind of this kind of rest is so essential for recover, and you can go in again for the activities and you go forward. This is in the daily living activity. And take care from the daily living activity. Don't go to the fatigue point. It's so dangerous. It will be an injury. Fatigue point is it is means that your borders don't go your borders during the day life. My border is 100, so I am working in 60, 70, 50, something like that, away from fatigue.
Wow.
because I perform with that for all 16 hours. This is dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
If I fatigue, if I go into 90 or 95 during the day, that could be bad. It could be result in like an injury.
Wow.
Also,
Mm-hmm.
we have if when I um, when I do exercises, okay, or I going to the gym and swimming or something like. Take care, you are going to the dangerous point. You're going to your borders.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to communicate with your body. Now I am going to be fatigued myself. I have to go to my proper clock to the 100 or 95 or maybe by that's my border like 105, something like that. Okay. So
Okay.
I have to take a rest. When
Mm-hmm.
I feel that when I am doing an activity, take a rest, small rest to recover, and then go and don't go point your fatigue point only on exercise.
Mm-hmm.
And at night, and you have to take enough rest to recover and build yourself in daily living activity and sport. We give our body a message that we need more, or that's enough for us, or that's big on us. If I'm not doing an exercise, if I am not practice daily living activities, that's the message of my body. Lower your mass. I don't need these muscles. I need these bones. Make it lower. If I practice the same, I give the body my message. Keep it. If I practice above my needs, my give message that is not enough. Give me
Yeah.
more. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is the advantage of rest and so important. But we have to also have to deal with the consequences or negative consequences of rest. On the rest, we don't have the bumping action of our body. All my soft tissue, we have a bumping action. And the 70% fluid that we have, it is moves all around and it will be less viscous. At night, at night or for a prolonged sleep or rest, this is will be calm down. And stroke happened mainly at 8 o'clock at the morning because slow down the blood so dangerous. Okay. Also, when I am asleep, the fluid, especially the annulus pulposus in the disc, our discs have like what we have a fluid in our intervertebral disc.
Mm-hmm.
This fluid, because of loss of compression force and
Right.
bumping action, now will be filled with the fluid. And now like that. So when I'm waking up, move slowly to allow bumping
Right.
and to evacuate these spaces. And now I can go again once more. So take care about from the consequences of sleep and rest is so much important.
Wow. That is really profound. Dr. Weil always brings the science. Thank you, Dr. Weil. That is so very much appreciated. I really like what you had to say. You really touched on everything, even getting into the musculoskeletal aspects of what happens with sleep, how our intervertebral discs imbibe with fluid, or they expand with fluid while we're resting, and then once we get up and put compression on them, the fluid releases and kind of, gives us a circulatory pattern with the disc as we kind of put pressure on them and allows them to lose fluid and so on. And we know that this also relates to how people with herniations develop or are acutely aware of pain when they wake up in the morning. It was really, really cool, for lack of a better way, to hear you talk about going to the borders of exhaustion, where during our regular daily activities, we stay within a certain border of energy expenditure. But then when we do exertional activity, exercises, we push it to the max, go all the way to those borders and even beyond. And that's what signals to our body how much rest that we need and so on and so forth. That was really profound. I appreciate that. You were talking about the effects of not getting sleep and how sleep deprivation ages you by 10 years. And I know all sleep deprivation, a lot of us want to know what can we do to not age rapidly. A lot of us want to know how can we delay that? And so I had made myself a note. Dr. Weil talked about this. He said, sleep in a dark room, turn your devices off, so to speak, wind down uh, um, as you get towards bedtime. He talked about don't work in your bed, stick to your schedule. And so, this was it was really profound to hear. And it's so important that we understand how to actually get good sleep. Sleep during your bedtime, take your cat naps during the day, but not your major sleep. Wait for nighttime, as Dr. Weil said, to get your real bulk of your sleep. And so thank you for that, Dr. Weil. Dr. Kitty, did you want to touch on some of the points that you were making earlier? I know we had a little bit of a problem trying to get our audio going. I know we're
Yeah, I just
getting
quickly wanted to
close.
talk again about the balance.
Yes.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, yes, we hear you.
Okay, so quick, right? So we want to talk about the appetite hormones. We want to talk about the fact that when we don't rest, the leptin goes down, so you still feel hungry, and the ghrelin goes up, right? And so you feel hungrier and less satisfied. Also, when we don't rest, we have an increase in cortisol.
Yeah.
And that is so important because almost every conversation we're having right now, we're talking about high cortisol levels. And so cortisol levels again goes through the fat storage, but also the muscle breakdown. But here's where it also affects us, the anxiety levels. We're going through very challenging times right now. There's so many moving parts. If you're not resting and you're creating this space of anxiousness, you're not helping your situation. You really, really need to rest. Take a break, take a time out, give your body enough time to rest so we can keep those cortisol levels down. Another big thing when we have lack of sleep is that our sex hormones as well become unbalanced. So we have disrupted estrogen and progesterone balances, and men and women can suffer from low testosterone. And that really affects the way, your sexual health and your sexual life can show up. So again, the rest is very important. One more other critical hormone that we want to talk about is the thyroid because that reduces metabolic signaling and we just have more sluggish metabolism. Rest being a major factor for regulation because it affects all of these other hormones. So I really wanted to leave those points there. And please bear that in mind when we start talking more about rest. We're preaching to the choir. We all need to do better with rest. I'm going to be like Dr. Royale and have more cat naps throughout the day, but we need to move through with that.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kitty. Friends, we are here every first Saturday of the month from 12
Thank you.
to 30. We invite you to like and subscribe to our channel. Also, don't be selfish. Share the value, share the channel with your friends, your family, your besties, and your enemies. Well, that's all for now. Have a wonderful weekend.